Hey there, it's Melanie Benson Strick, host of New Era Success TV, and I have asked a really special friend of mine to come join us today and talk about something which I think is one of the most powerful ways that we can show up in business, and that's really tapping into our giving and our generosity. So I want to introduce you to my friend Cynthia Kersey. Hello, Cynthia.
Hello.
I just want to share just a tiny bit about Cynthia and why I wanted to bring her into the New Era Success community today. You know, Cynthia and I met many years ago. She has been known for years and years as a leading performance and productivity expert. She's best-selling author of two books, Unstoppable and Unstoppable Women. She has been a speaker that has gone all over the globe to share her message, as well as being a national columnist, team coach, and philanthropist.
Wow.
But what's really got me, I don't know, in a way I kind of feel like it's brought us closer, like we've actually gotten to know each other better. We've found like new spaces to really like kind of share and play together in our work. Is this new body of work that Cynthia has stepped into called Unstoppable Giving, which teaches people the power of building a life and business around generosity and provides entrepreneurs with a practical action plan on how they can increase their bottom line, expand their business, create customer evangelists, which I know we all want, and become completely invigorated about their life and business by implementing a contributive business philosophy. Now I'm going to dig into this a little bit more with Cynthia in a minute because I want to have her share more about what this means, but I just think Cynthia is going to be much more powerful and exciting to engage it just through this process of us sharing today. So you're up in Washington today, right?
I am. I'm at my fiance's house, and we've launched a big Give a Little, Get a Lot campaign. So I'm kind of like at Grand Central Station here. I told Melanie it's the first time I've had makeup on in a week. I still have my workout clothes, and I haven't actually got to work out yet because I've been sitting. As entrepreneurs know, when you have big projects, you do what you need to do.
Yeah, that's right. You set the intention, but you
I
go
did,
where you need to go, right?
but I got my makeup on for you, so
Yeah, I love it. Although you would be beautiful with or without it.
thank you.
Well, you know, I love what's happened for you with this unstoppable giving. And, you know, we first met when you were really hot in Unstoppable. As a matter of fact, I think we were almost like in a parallel reality for a while because before I even knew you, I created something called Unstoppable Goals. And all of a sudden I realized like, wow, there's this big brand, Unstoppable. I think I need to rebrand my stuff. As a matter of fact, I just ran across when I was cleaning out my garage. I think I have like 7 of my very old Unstoppable Goals kits that
That's
I made just for
funny.
you. But you know, something shifted for you, and you kind of like caught this fire and this energy, and you were inspired to shift away from that model, which was really successful for you, and into unstoppable giving. And I'd love it if you can share with us, like, what happened for you that caused you to follow this part of what you've been called to do.
Yeah. Well, I've always integrated giving back in my business model really for over a decade. It started when I got my first book came out in 1998, Unstoppable. And 18 months later, I separated from my husband. I was married 20 years.
Wow.
And while I was living on purpose, right, I quit a job, cashed my entire life savings to write my book. I was devastated. You know, I thought I'd be married my whole life. And I called my friend Millard Fuller, the founder of Habitat for Humanity, who was my mentor, and told him what had happened. And he said, Cynthia, when you have a great pain in your life, you need a greater purpose. And I ended up designing a project to fund 100 houses in Nepal. I'd never raised money to build one thing. I'd never been to Nepal, but I just felt really called to this vision, and it inspired me. It was bigger than me. It got me out of the bed when, I mean, really through the most difficult year of my life. And in one year I raised $200,000, took 18 people to Nepal. We built the first 3 of the 100 homes, and my life changed. It was like they had me at hello, meeting the people. I mean, it was a level of joy I'd never experienced. I came back and I thought, this is a way, you know, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to incorporate giving. And what's interesting, Melanie, is that year that I was out there talking about habitat and I was doing my business, I made more money that year than ever in corporate America. And I sold a $30 million account. So I think my life, I experienced the law of giving and receiving, right? You know, the scriptures say, give and it shall be given. It doesn't say wait until your business is going well. Wait until you feel like you have something to give. Wait until you feel better, right? It says give and it shall be given. So over the last decade, I've been doing projects. And in 2006, I was invited to a rural African women conference. Didn't know why, didn't know anybody over there, but I felt called to go. Went over there, fell in love with these women. And, you know, many of these women walked for days to come meet with us. 400 women from rural Africa met to come to this conference. And many of them never got away from their house hauling water and firewood hours on their back every day for their family just to survive. And they came and met with us, telling us about their situation, asking for solutions. And I totally fell in love with them, came home and said, I'm going to do something, I don't know what. Did some research, found out that education, the United Nations says that education is the #1 thing that we can do to end global poverty. So I thought, that's it. And so over the last 4 years, I've been asking people to donate. I've been, you know, people have donated their birthdays and raised money. There's all sorts of things. And as a foundation, we've funded 22 schools in sustainable communities.
Oh, I
And
get chills when you share that, by the way. It's so amazing that just by like listening to the call to get into action, you've had such a significant impact in such a short period of time.
well, and what you asked, how did I do this full time? So I've been doing that, running my business, and the whole time in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I want to see every child on the planet get access to an education. I want that to be my life, right? I want that to be what I'm about. But I was a single woman. I needed to earn an income. I wasn't independently wealthy. I was doing well, but I didn't have enough money to retire by any stretch of the imagination. And it just, so the last time I went to Africa in 2010, I came back and I had to promote my next coaching program, right? So I came home, I was all inspired. I came up with this campaign, Give a Little, Get a Lot, which we'll talk about in a second. And I wanted to do it full time, but I didn't know how to do it. And so I thought, I've got to sell my next coaching program, right? So I get home and I'm just, I was just like, you know, I'm just agonizing over trying to put this copy together. So I finally sit down and like, suck it up. I'm going to write this copy. I write it all. I just got a new Mac. Finished writing it and my entire computer crashed.
Oh,
So I'm like, that's interesting. So I go to sleep. I wake up like at 4 in the morning. I can't sleep. I'm restless. I have anxiety. So I'm just really working with myself. I'm like doing Ho'oponopono. I'm like, I'm praying. I'm doing everything. And so I go to the gym and I'm working out early. And this thought in my mind is like, Cynthia, why don't you do this full time? And up until that point, Melanie, every time I heard that voice, I immediately shut it down. It's like, you can't do this full time. You have to earn money. Don't even, like literally, I would just push that idea out. And that morning at the gym, I allowed that question just to be there. And by the time I was finished working out, I thought, wow, you know, maybe I could do this. And I came home and I had a mastermind group where we'd been, you know, supporting each other. And after the group, I called Marcia Weeder and I said, I think it's time. I think I'm going to stop my business and do this. She said, of course you're going to do it. This is your time. So I came up with a strategy because I didn't know how am I going to earn money. So basically we said, this is what you're going to do. You're going to call everybody you know, 3 people a day, and you're going to ask them either for resources, money, support, but to get on board. So I literally started calling people saying, I'm doing this campaign. You know, do you want to either donate product? Do you want to donate money? And, you know, Mark Victor Hansen donated $20,000. And I did not have enough money to even support myself, much less do the campaign. But I knew when I made the decision, Melanie, everything shifted for me. I just thought, wow, this is what I need to do. I started calling people. I called Nick Ortner, who's a huge internet marketer, and we were just talking about the campaign. And at that point, I had nobody who was going to do it. And by the time we finished with the call, he donated to run the entire campaign, which could have cost 50 grand to do that. And he donated $50,000 to be the sponsor of my campaign. And I said, no, wait a minute, are you and I didn't even call him for that reason. And he said, I said, you mean to tell me that you're going to do my entire campaign for free and you're going to donate $50,000? And he said, yes. I got off the phone. I thought, this is it, God. This is a sign I am taken care of. I do not have to worry about this. And we launched that campaign. I had friends that donated money to help support me as I did it. We raised $270,000. And bigger than that, it was like that was my entree into doing what I have been called to do my whole life, to do this full time. And I don't worry about money. It's not like I'm not making the most money I've ever made in my life by any stretch of imagination. But you know what? It doesn't matter because all of my needs are met. And I think there's an energy when you get into this vibration. I attracted a man, like the man I've waited for my whole life.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's nothing missing in my life. And I really feel that when you say yes to that deeper calling, it just shifted my vibration. You know, maybe I was more ready now. But my whole life has shifted as a result of saying yes to that deeper calling that was coming within me.
I love that. I just get chills listening to you talk about this because it's so, you know, first of all, you said three really important things. You listened to that voice that's been trying to move you towards a more aligned way, to bring not only to like make a difference in the world, but to bring you into alignment. Secondly, and I think this is where a lot of people miss the boat, Cynthia, and I'm sure having done the same work I've done for years, you've seen this, but like you didn't just say, I have to do this and do it by yourself. Like you tapped into your resources, you tapped into your community, and you said, you know, this is my vision, and your passion and the fire and the commitment and the vibration that you're operating on got other people excited to step up and participate with you and support this vision. And so I think that's a really significant thing to identify here, is that when you're going to make this step, when you're making this leap, you have to be willing to let other people in and to tap into your resources. So I'm really glad you shared that part.
No, that's a really good point. And I think over the years, because I had done it while I was still working my business, and I built some credibility in that area. So that it wasn't, you know, because a lot of people will call, and I'm sure you've experienced it, and they're calling, you know, will you give me money to do this?
Right.
It wasn't like that. I had a track record. So when I asked them for money, it was easier for them to say yes. Not to say that it has to be that way, but I think there has to be a level of people feel like they know that their investment is going to reap a benefit. And I think that's how we have to position things. You know, people invest in results.
Yes.
Especially in this kind of work.
And people they believe in. And so, you know, I think a third thing, and I'd love your insight on this real quick, and that is you have stepped into incorporating giving and generosity, not as part of your life, but as the full expression of your work on this planet. But, you know, even if somebody was able to do that on a part-time or just as a little tiny piece, like, why is that, from your point of view, one of the best ways as our whole world is shifting in our economy and the paradigm of business and all that? Like, there's a lot of tumultuousness and a lot of people in fear. Like, why could this be a really good thing for them right now?
Mm-hmm. It's such a great question. And once you experience it, you know. For example, Bob Proctor is a dear friend. He embodies the vibration of giving. Mm-hmm. This man, you know, it gives and gives. He's so generous. And I think as a result, when you're a giver, it's, you know, again, I go back to the scriptures. Even spiritual teachers have been talking about the power of giving for centuries. And what's interesting is Sir John Templeton, who is one of the greatest financial advisors of the 20th century. He's a billionaire. He asked what was his greatest advice that he's ever given somebody about building wealth. And do you know what he said? Giving. Mm. He said, I've never known anyone who has not given 10% of their income where it didn't come back tenfold. He said, even when you don't have money, don't wait until you have money. Give anyway. And so I think, number one, when we give, it shifts who we are. right? It puts us in a different vibration. When I integrated these projects into my business, I was invigorated. I was on fire, even when I was coaching, because I'm not as inspired just to make money. I'm inspired to make money because I know it's going to be able to do something. And so when I had that vision, it reinvigorated my business. It brought an energy to who I was as an individual that literally magnetized people to me. So I think number one, when you are in the energy of giving, people want to be with you. Have you ever been to a networking meeting where people it's so obvious they just want to meet you because they want you to do something for them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you attracted to them in any way, shape, or form?
No, it's almost like it's repulsing. It's like you kind of don't really know what it is, but you know you're not attracted to go deeper. You're just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, whatever. Right. But the giving, like, for example, I don't know, do you know Fabrizio Mancini? He's the head of Parker College.
Name's familiar.
Oh, I love him. He's such a dear friend. But anyway, he's now the CEO of Parker College.
Okay.
But when he became a chiropractor back in 1983, he was raised in Colombia, and his parents always encouraged him to give. Long story short, as soon as he opened his practice, he joined the Chamber of Commerce. And he went to his first networking meeting, and unlike most people where you're giving your cards, hi, I'm a new chiropractor down the street, he didn't do that. He went and he met people. Hi, Bob, what do you do? Can I have your card? I'd like to put it on my referral wall in my office and hopefully refer some business to you. Bob's like, really? What do you do? Oh, I'm a chiropractor. Oh, really? Well, I've had this backache, blah, 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 blah. So get this. So Fabrizio went home from his first networking class, or what do you call it, the thing, and he connected in 3 hours with 127 out of 300 people at this mixer. He goes home, he writes each one a handwritten note. Imagine that. Bob, it was great to meet you. Thank you for giving me your card. I put it on the referral wall. I'm hoping to refer a lot of business to you. By the way, you mentioned your back was hurting. Here's a pamphlet. If I can do anything, let me know. In 1 week, he got 48 new patients, and he was profitable from day one. He is a giver. Another example is Elmer Letterman. Elmer Letterman sold more life insurance than anybody ever in history. And do you know what his strategy was? He said, I don't need to really understand a lot about insurance. I am in the people business. So what he would do is every day for 5 days a week, he invited 6 different people to meet him for lunch at the Four Seasons. He would bring all sorts of interesting people together. He never talked about his business. He would let other people talk. He would refer people. He had an assistant who was full-time. All she did was send out books, papers, articles that would add value to these people. And he was the number one. He sold more insurance in a year than companies did in their entire existence. So, I could go on and on. I love these stories. I think the bottom line is when you are of service, there's an energy about you that attracts you. And people want to support you. And as you give, it's like, when I give to you, I don't look for you to give me something back in return. I know as I give, I'm blessed. And energetically, it has to come back, right? It's a law of the universe, just like electricity or gravity. It has to come back to us. And so you just give, and knowing it's going to return, and in my experience and a lot of others, it returns tenfold.
Yeah. And so I think this is a great point to bring up the innovation of this new program that you're offering, which is all about giving to get, or give a little, get a lot is what you called it, which I think is a fantastic, but really it's about like tapping into this energy of giving inside of our business. So maybe we could share just really quickly what this is about, because it's coming up really quick, and how people could get involved if they're ready to step into this power of giving in their life.
Perfect. So I came up with the idea, the vision is that every child on the planet gets access to an education. Great. How do we fund that? Statistics say it costs about $11 to $15 billion to put every child through primary school. That sounds like a big number, but last year we spent twice that in the United States alone on ice cream. We spent $45 billion feeding our dogs and cats, and $60 billion trying to lose weight. Okay?
Okay, that's
So
perspective.
yeah, it gives a little perspective. So it's like, how do I get people to give money? There's donor fatigue out there, right? I mean, there's so many people asking for great causes. And it came to me the inspiration of give a little, get a lot. That's energetically, that's the law of giving and receiving. So I asked this year, we launched it last year, experts, top experts in this field, personal development, business development, to donate one of their best selling programs. Not a bonus item, not a free thing, a real program that they're selling.
Mm-hmm.
And we packaged them this year. It's in 5 different packages. One is on creating wealth. One of them is on developing an unstoppable mindset. One is tools to develop a 6-figure business, becoming an expert in your field, and living the life of your dreams. And we have top experts in each one of these categories. The packages range, this is no lie, on the low side of $600 if you bought it today to $5,000. And each package with 3 products in each is $97. $97 will educate one child in Africa where we're working for an entire year.
That just
So,
gives me I just get so excited and inspired by that.
right.
And
So,
none of the proceeds are going back to these experts.
no,
They've
none of
donated
the money.
100%, so all the proceeds go to the schools.
That's right. 100% of all the profits go to actually educating the children. The teachers are, and you know what? Like Lisa Nichols is offering a program. She hasn't even started selling it. She's going to start selling it in January. When she heard about what we were doing, she donated a brand new program that she's going to be selling in January for free to this. Do you see
That's
what
so
I'm saying?
cool.
Because together, the idea is if enough of us give a little bit, just like in the 60s when we eradicated polio in the United States by millions of people donating dimes, we can educate every child on the planet if everybody gives a little bit. This is my way to inspire everybody to give a little bit. They're going to get a lot. The tools, the education they're giving to a child will completely change their life, and the tools they're receiving in return can absolutely transform their life as well. It's a win, win, win.
That's beautiful. And we're actually showing the link right here on the video below. So if you want to go and check it out right now and be a part of this amazing shift in, I would say, in the collective consciousness of our universe, to shift out of the what can I get and into the what can I give. And of course, you know, the bonus is in this particular moment, you're getting to access some amazing, powerful, transformational tools that you can take and put into action. So they can pick one of these 5 series, or they can get all 5 of them if they want
Check
it.
it off. Absolutely. We have a specialty if they want to get all 5 of them. So yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, and it's like, you know, we were talking about the thing, any of us can be a philanthropist. You don't have to be Bill Gates to make a difference in the life of a child. So we're giving people an opportunity for $97 this holiday. You can know when you're buying your Christmas presents or Hanukkah or you're celebrating, you're going to know that there is a child in another country who will be thinking about you as they're going to school, as they're getting access to clean water, because you said yes, you gave a little bit, and then in return, you're not only going to be able to feel better about that, but you're going to get information that can absolutely change your life as well. So I invite people to go to givealittlegetalot.com. I know you've got the link there, and tell your friends. It only works if a lot of us give a little bit. I'm not asking for thousands or hundreds of thousands. It's $97
Yeah.
that can change your life and change the life of a child forever.
Yeah, and I love it so much. So if somebody's watching this TV show later, I'm also going to encourage you to come check out the site, because they'll probably get redirected if it comes up
Yes.
afterwards. And look for a way that you can contribute, even if it's $10, even if it's $20, even if, you know, if you've got $10,000, that's great too. But, you know, if you're accessing this later and the series is over, there's still a lot of amazing ways that we can step up our game, that we can give a little and make a huge impact on the lives of some other people on this planet. And personally, one of my greatest values is education for children, and transforming the lives of our young people mean that we are actually doing what we can today to heal the planet and to create an environment that we want our children to live in. And so I feel really passionate about supporting Cynthia in this mission and in this vision to help educate the young people on this planet and to make a difference in parts of the world where, you know what, we're needed. So thank you, thank you, thank you for coming and sharing about the Unstoppable Giving program, about how you got here, and most importantly, for being so committed to following this call inside of you and helping us find ways to give back to the community. I love you.
Thank you. I love you, Melanie. I'm getting chills. Thank you. You know, because it takes a village for all of us to really make a difference in the world. Thank you for really being a part of this, for supporting me, for stepping into your calling. You bless me. You bless everyone listening to this call. So thank you so much.
All right. Bye.